Good afternoon everyone, my name is Allysa, and this afternoon, me and my groupmates will going to discuss about the chapter 14, which is the security, and the chapter 15, which is about the executive housekeeping. Security, the act of delivering hospitality, is thought to occur naturally. However, throughout this text, delivering hospitality is discussed as plan a concept, complete with research on guest needs, policy and program development, establish and delivery of training programs, and follow-up information systems. Hospitality also includes providing a safe environment for guests, which requires a well-organized department to oversee and implement safety programs. The security department of hotel is vital to delivering hospitality to guests. Importance of a security department. The front office is a hotel communication center. It is the vital link between the hotel management and the guests. When the guest calls for assistance because of fire, illness, theft, or any other emergency, it is usually the front office that must respond. The staff on the duty at the front office cannot leave and resolve the emergency because they must continue to provide communication services and process financial transactions. The security department staff must react with speed and efficiently to serve the guests. The security department is often regarded as a passive department, acting only when they called on. But in reality, it is an active department, setting policies, organizing programs, and delivering training programs to promote guests and employees' safety. The director of security is a trained professional who must ensure that a busy hotel filled with guests, employees, and equipments stay safe. One of the department's goals is to prevent emergencies through planning its services. Another goal, however, is to train all hotel employees to respond to emergencies. The importance of security to a hotel is emphasized in the following Hotel Security Report article by Patrick M. Murphy, CPP Director of Loss Prevention Services at Marriott International Inc., Washington, D.C., who reports on Marriott International adoption of crime prevention through environmental design, or CPTED, in its chain of 1,900 owned and managed properties worldwide. CPTED is a part of Total Security Package. It can include anything and everything from the presence of security or loss prevention officers at a property to plans for protecting the interior, which is lobby and guest rooms, exteriors, which is the parking area and the surrounding neighborhood. Its goal is to keep the criminals from breaking into any area of the property. It accomplishes by simply making the environment uncomfortable for them. The hotel priority areas in CPTED includes the following. First is building entrances. When reviewing a property, we look to see that all entrances are inviting, brightly lit with no obstructing shrubbery. At night, side entrances should be restricted by the use of card readers, so that non-registered guests must pass through the lobby and pass the main check-in desk. Second is hotel lobbies. They should be designed to be visually open with minimal blind spots for front desk employees. Lobbies also should be designed so that person walking through the front door must pass the front desk to reach the guest room corridors or elevators. The third one is the guest rooms. This electronic locking system creates an environment where keys are automatically changed when a new guest check in. Locks also can be interrogated to determine the last person to enter the room. The fourth one is the guest amenities. Marriott's designed its new properties with glass doors and walls to allow the maximum witness potential when providing swimming pools, exercise rooms, vending areas, and laundry facilities. Adding house phones in these areas make it possible for guests to call for help if they feel uncomfortable or threatened by anyone. Next is exterior of the property. Shifted principle call for bright lighting at walkways and entrances. Traffic should be directed to the front of the hotel property to make the criminals as visible as possible. Entrances to the hotel grounds should be limited. Landscaping such as hedges and shrubbery can also create aesthetically pleasing barriers to promote the desired traffic and pedestrian flow. The seventh one is the parking. The preferred lighting is metal halide. High pressure sodium should be avoided because it causes a harsh yellow light. The optimal parking lot or garage has one entrance and exit, with well-marked route of travel for both cars and pedestrians. Garages need to be as open as possible, encouraging clear lines of sight, elevators and stairwells that leads from the garage. And the hotel should terminate at the lobby level, where a transfer of elevators or the different set of stairs should be required to reach guest room floors. Other safety features in the garage should include CCTV or closed-circuit television, cameras, installation of emergency call boxes, and painting the walls white to increase the luminosity of light. Fixtures while creating an atmosphere that is appealing to the eye. In today's litigious society, an environment in which consumers sue provider of products and services for not delivering those products and services according to the expected operating standards. It is important to maintain a well-organized security department because the cost of a human life lost because of negligence of the financial loss due to the fire outweighs the expense incurred operating a security department. The following case illustrates the expense that can result from security breaches. Perhaps the most significant of high-visibility hotel crimes was the 1974 rape of singer and actress Connie Francis in a Westbury, New York hotel, which resulted in a much-publicized trial culminating in a multi-million-dollar verdict against the hotel. The case is still considered the industry's wake-up call in terms of legal liability. Organization of Security Department. The Security Department of Hotel is organized like any other department. At the head of the department is a Director of Security, who is responsible for maintaining a safe environment for guests and employees. The Security Director needs personnel, technology, and a budget to operate a 24-hour control system for the hotel. Depending on the size of the hotel, there may be an Assistant Director of the Security, who acts in the absence of the director and assists in the administrative and supervisory function of the department. The Director of Security reports to and works with the General Manager and interacts with each other director. Each of the shifts, such as 7 a.m. to 3 p.m., 3 p.m. to 11 p.m., and 11 p.m. to 7 a.m., is staffed with shift supervisors and security guards who are responsible for patrolling the grounds to watch the activities of the guests and employees and check on safety and security equipment. The number of people required to staff these departments depends on the size of the hotel. The figure 14.1 shows the organizational chart of security department for a large hotel. Job analysis of the Director of Security. First is the Director of the Security outlines the administrative and supervisory tasks of this management team member. Second is his reaction to the problems and emergencies is the basis of successful job performance. A typical job schedule of Director of Security. This job analysis shows the Security Director to be involved with managing details concerning the whereabouts of people and showing a proactive concern for their safety. The job calls for constant interaction with department directors, employees, government officials, guests, and operational equipment. All of these tasks add up to a highly responsible position in the hotel. The following are the comment on hotel guest safety outlines and the objective of hotel obligation to the guest. The hotel is not the insurer of guest safety, but it must exercise the care of reasonable and prudent operator in protecting the guest. This duty extends to an innkeeper's obligation to protect guests from, first, negligent or deliberate acts of hotel employees, second, acts of other guests, and lastly, acts by non-guests committed to the premises. It is important to focus on these three because failure to conform to the reasonableness standard in these three areas provides a liability risk for the hotel. The responsibilities outlined in the job description for the Director of Security may be assigned to other workers in some hotels due to budgetary reasons. The general manager in a limited service property, for example, may assign the crisis management role of maintaining control of an emergency situation to the manager on duty. The administrative role may be shared with the assistant manager, reservations manager, or housekeeper. In-house security departments versus contracted security. The events of September 11, 2001, as well more recent events of hotel bombing and seizing urged hotel operators to take the responsibility of hotel guest security very seriously. However, general managers of hotel must determine how to make operator an in-house security department cost-effective. Operating a well-organized security department must be the primary concern when considering hiring an outside security firm. As the job analysis for the Director of Security, it indicated that there is more to the position than patrolling the halls and grounds of the hotel. Foot patrol means walking the corridors, hall, and outside property of hotel to detect breaches of guest and employees' safety. It is an important feature of security, but it is preventive measure, not an active means of organizing security. However, in some situations, a general manager is forced for economic reasons to consider the purchase of an outside service. Administrative and planning procedures for operating a security department are delegated to other department heads. The cost consideration must be weighed against planning and coordinating a safe environment for the guests and employees. The hourly rate charged by security service for service escort service or having a uniform security guard escort a hotel employee to a financial institution to make back deposits, for performing regular hall patrol, and for maintaining surveillance of the parking garage may be seem attractive compared to the annual salaries and administrative overhead associated with operating an in-house security department in 24 hours a day. But more than cost must be considered. Who will work with other department directors to establish fire safety and security procedures? Who will plan and deliver fire safety security training sessions? Another thing is, who will monitor fire safety devices? Who will work with city officials in interpreting fire safety codes? Who will update management on the latest technology to ensure a safe environment? These and other questions must be answered if owners and management are committed to security. If an outside security service is hired, the role of maintaining security is parceled out to department directors. The Director of Maintenance operates the fire safety and security equipment, maintains operating records of fire safety equipment and elevators, and reacts to hazardous situation. At the same time, the General Manager, if time permits, establishes a safety committee that responds to government guidelines and potential hazards. Each department director, if time permits, establishes security guidelines based on personal experience. Under these circumstances, safety and security become low priorities. The lack of coordination almost guarantees disaster when an emergency strikes. The following excerpt discussing a hotel bombing in Jakarta, Indonesia, emphasized the wisdom of adopting a proactive operational position on guest security. It encourages the need to share best practices rather than work alone. As terrorism continues to pose a threat to soft targets such as hotels, as evidenced by the recent 2003 bombing outside the JW Marriott in Jakarta, security has never been more important. With this reality, global hotel companies are no doubt concerned with how to strike the delicate balance between security and guest convenience. Guests today expect to be protected. The hotel industry should discussing security measures openly, sharing best practices instead of worrying about how it looks. Meeting the challenges of providing security for guests and employees requires a full-time approach. Part-time efforts to control crises in hotel may be short-sighted. For example, the verdict against Hilton Hotel Corporation in the tailhook case could have far-reaching implications for hotel liabilities in providing security for guests, according to hospitality legal experts in this case. Former Navy Lieutenant Paula Coughlin sued Hilton for failing to provide adequate security during the Tailhook Association convention at the Los Angeles Hilton in 1991. Jurors awarded Coughlin a $1.7 million in compensatory damage and $5 million in punitive damage. Hilton claimed 3 security guards were adequate for the 5,000 people at the event. This implication could have prevented if the Hilton Corporation provided an adequate security. Room key security. Room key control system, an administrative procedure that authorizes certain personnel and registered guests to have access to keys for entrance to guest rooms and public areas. Responsibilidad din ng Director of Security na i-maintain ng room key control system para ma-verify na walang makapasok sa mga public areas at guest rooms na unauthorized guests, meaning ang pwede lang pumasok sa guest room is the unauthorized guest or personnel because the guest need his or her own privacy. 7 hotels have several options to offer guests that will protect their privacy, including traditional hard keys, electronic locks, smart card technology, and contactless electronic lock that use radio frequency identification or RFID. Hard key system. Hard key system consists of the traditional large key that fits into a keyhole in a lock. Preset tumblers inside the lock are turned by the designated key. The hard key system is less expensive than other lock systems at initial purchase. However, the cost of purchasing additional keys and rekeying locks must be considered over the long run. Also, restoring the same key to the guest after guest presents a security problem, often the guest fails to return the key at the checkout. For example, if a careless guest discards a room key or a criminal steals a key, guest safety is jeopardized. If regular maintenance and rekeying lock tumblers are not part of preventive maintenance plan and budget, guest security is compromised. While the hard key system is the traditional method of hotels have been using for many years, it is cumbersome and costly maintenance indicates it should be replaced with the advanced technology. This may be a slow process, but it will greatly improve the guest, employee, and inventory safety. Economies of scale make the electronic key system an affordable necessity. Electronic lock system. The electronic key system is composed of battery-powered or less frequently hardware lock, a host computer and terminal key puncher, and special entry cards which are used as keys. The host computer generates the combination for the locks, cancel the old ones, and keep track of master keying system. The front desk staff uses at least one computer terminal to register the guest and accompanying key puncher to produce the key. An electronic locking system allows the hotel to issue a fresh key to each guest. When the guest inserts his/her key into the door, the lock's intelligent microchip scan the combination punch on the card and accept it as the new valid combination for the door, registering all previous combination unacceptable. The electronic key system, smart card, and biometrics can be used for guest room as well as the areas of hotel. They are investment in guest security and safety. As each new guest registers, a fresh plastic key or appropriate electronic device is produced. The new combination for the guest room lock or public storage area responds only to the new guest room key or pass key. This procedure almost guarantees guest and employee safety. The initial investment, these types of system must be evaluated against overall maintenance and replacement of cost hard key system and increased guest and employee security. Electronic key access is one of many alternatives from which facility managers can choose. The system includes an electronic coded key and door controllers that can be easily programmed to recognize one or more codes. Since the electronic keys are assigned codes from one of several million possible combinations, they are virtually impossible to duplicate. High-end electronic access control system can be equipped with numerous features such as recording who entered an area and what time, and can link this information with central computer, allowing facility managers to provide reports on the activities of thousands of users through thousands of doors. For example, the Zaflock MT electronic lock is the company's flagship product. It has the ability to read three different types of keycard media, such as smart card, memory, and magstripe technologies. This multi-technological capability is a standard feature that Zaflock provides at no additional charge. The lock store uses history up to 5,900 entries. The System 6000 operating program is a window-based system. Some user-friendly features include point-and-click functionality, username and password protection to ensure that each user accesses the program with the right assigned to their access level, lost or stolen key cancellation and replacement, customizable key, probability, and detailed system reporting security. This is a password protected. Smart card. Another version of electronic key is a smart card, an electronic device with computer chip that allows a hotel guest or an employee access to designated area tracking and debit card capabilities for the guest. Bruce Adam reports the following on smart cards. First, the cards can track what level or key was used, who was there, and create an audit trail that is easy to manage. Beyond a state-of-the-art locking and tracking capability. Second, the smart cards serve as guest identification card, which include the guest name and dates of stay at Porcino Bay Hotel at Universal Studios theme park. It says that their card function as an ID card, which gives them a special privilege at the theme park. Some of those benefits includes front-of-line privileges at rides and events, early admission to the park, and priority seating in the restaurants. These smart cards also serve as the charge card at the hotel and park. The smart card is linked to the guest account in the hotel. The credit limit in the hotel is transmitted to the smart card. Merchants at any shop or any restaurant at Universal Studio can swipe the smart card the same way they swipe a credit card. It works the same way as credit card. Lastly, the smart cards can easy to invalidate once it's lost. Lastly, the smart cards are easy to invalidate once it's lost. Contactless electronic locks. Contactless locks in the form of wristbands, key fobs, and key cards have also been developed using radio frequency identification or RFID. As a form of electronic keys in lodging properties, its features are an ergonomically designed contactless reader. To gain access, guests and staff members simply present their keycards at the reader. An audit trail that specifies the date and time that each lock was accessed can be recorded on employee keycards. Another use of RFID is passing along the room key number via a cell phone, mobile bookings, and mobile confirmation, mobile upgrade offers, e-payment, e-ticketing voucher, e-concierge, and more. System using PINs or personal identification numbers such as ATMs, automatic teller machines, requires only that individual know a specific number to gain entry. Who actually enters that code cannot be determined. On the other hand, biometrics devices, no pun intended, verify who a person is by what they are, whether it's their hand, eye, fingerprint, or voice. For example, when captured, a fingerprint image is converted into digital form by extracting a set of unique characteristics. The abstract data taken from the recording is then encrypted and stored in the database as template to be later used as reference for comparison purposes. Let's move on for another topic, which is fire safety. Hearing someone shout "fire" panics anyone who is unprepared to deal with this dangerous situation. Well-orchestrated safety procedures that are well managed at the onset, a fire can save the lives of guests and employees. The front office manager and director of security must develop effective fire safety and evacuation plans as well as training programs for employees to ensure their effectiveness. Another topic is general fire code requirements. Fire safety plans begins with the fire safety codes of the municipality where the hotel is located. These codes stipulate construction materials, interior design fabrics, entrance and exit requirements, space limitation, smoke alarm installation and maintenance, sprinkler system installation and maintenance, fire drill testing, fire alarm operation and maintenance, and the like. These extensive and detailed codes were developed to ensure guest safety. They may require extra financial investment, but they are intended to protect the guests and the occupants of the building.
Guest expectation. Hotel guests expect, either consciously or unconsciously, to find a safe environment during their visit. However, most guests are concerned about other matters and do not ask about fire safety procedures. The guest expectation, most of them, is do not ask about the safety procedures. They are more concerned about if the room is good, comfortable bed, the cleanliness of the whole room, especially the comfort room, and the amenities. Fire safety plan. The front office manager who wants to take active measures to ensure guest safety must develop a simple safety plan. Communicate it to employees and guests, and train employees and guests to handle a stressful situation. The fire safety plan is on front office manager, the person who is active about the measures para sa safety ng guests and also ng mga employees. Front office demonstrate to employees and guests how to handle situation. Example, how to use the fire extinguishers right. And also front office is need to have clear and active communications both of guests and employees for the emergency and hurry situation to be handled quickly. Safety plan. Equip all guest rooms and public areas with smoke detectors that are tied to a central communication area. Regularly test and maintain smoke detectors. Keep up-to-date records of the test. Constantly monitor smoke detectors and fire alarm system, preferably at the front desk. Prepare the first floor plan showing the fire exit locations by area, public areas, work areas, and guest rooms areas. Develop a fire action communication procedure for front office personnel. So, safety plan, this safety plan is for the whole hotel safety, for the guest, employees of the hotel. And para din if may mga emergency situation guests and employees, alam nila what is going to do. The situation, alam nila kung saan pupunta. And this plan is making all the staff guests of the hotel is safe. Employee training in fire safety. Providing training programs for employees on the location of the fire exits, fire extinguishers, and fire alarms and on methods of building evacuation greatly increases the chances that all occupants will escape the building safely when necessary. These training sessions give employees confidence in their ability to handle an emergency. Employee training in fire safety. This is the program that train employees like kung saan yung locations ng fire exits, fire extinguishers, the fire alarms, and the methods of building evacuation para malaki yung chance na lahat ay makakaalis ng building ng safe. This training is to prepare all the employees in the emergency situation and also to have the employees' courage to handle situation like emergency with no hesitation and panic. Guest instruction in fire safety. Instructing guests on fire safety is overlooked. They are at the hotel for a relaxing, enjoyable moment. But fire can strike at any time, even during relaxing, enjoyable visits. Inform each guest that all rooms are equipped with smoke detectors, that our nearest fire exit from any room is at the most 4 doors to the right of the room, that a fire extinguisher is located next to the elevator on each floor, and that a fire can be reported by dialing 0 for the hotel operator. Guest instruction in fire safety. This is for the guest instructing them and give them situation. Because emergency or fire can strike anytime, this is to inform them that all the room have smoke detectors and inform them where is the location of the fire exits, the fire extinguishers, and that can be dialed to inform hotel operators. Visual alarm systems. Flashing lights that indicate a fire or other emergency in hotel room should be installed to alert hearing impaired guests. So yung visual alarm system, this visual alarm system is the use for fire or any emergency happening in the hotel. That should be installed to inform guests in any situation, especially in fire emergency. This is the sign when guests need to go in evacuation, and also to be the guest is always alert and safe. Fire action communication procedure. The front office employees must take the lead in controlling the panic that may arise in a fire strike. The fire communications training program developed by the front office manager must be taught to all office personnel. If fire strike during the middle of the day, more than one person will be available to assist in maintaining control of the situation. The communications procedure begins when a guest or employees calls the switchboard to report a fire. Front office personnel must remain calm throughout the ordeal. The switchboard will be active with the calls from inside and outside the hotel. So dito naman sa fire action communication procedure, this being said that front office employees must lead and control the panic that may cause fire strike. This training program is ginawa ng front office manager para sa mga front office personnel na dapat ituro at matutunan. And when emergency or fire happens, may isang tao or higit para mag-assist and mag-maintain yung situation sa safe. For example, sa mga guest, kung walang tao na mag-lead sa kanila, maaaring mag-panic sila. And it may cause more severe in situation. Emergency communication. There are times when guests and employees must evacuate a building in a non-emergency situation. Although it is imperative that the building be entered, evacuation is not as urgent as it is during a fire. Example of such situations include a bomb threat, a fire in an adjacent building, a gas leak, or an electrical power outage. When this situation occurs, an emergency communication system must be in place to ensure an efficient evacuation. The role of the front office is essential in directing communications with guests and employees. The front office staff is responsible for alerting employees and guests that an emergency situation exists. Developing the emergency communication plan. The emergency communication plan is developed in cooperation with the Director of Security, the front office manager, and local civil authorities. These individuals are responsible for developing a plan to be used in the event of an impending, life-threatening emergency. The plan must involve training staff and employees. So, developing the emergency communication plan, these persons being said is the involved to create this plan na magagamit sa mga event, and plan it must be involve staff and employees, and para magiging handa sila during the event and suddenly nagkaroon ng emergency, for example, the impending life emergency. Ito yung mga biglaang may na heart attack sa event or seizures, shortness of breathe, collapse, and others. And this kind of situation is need quickly response or help to save life of the guest and employees. Emergency Communication Manager on duty. The job description of each management position includes a task entitled Emergency Communications Manager on duty. This duty requires the person to act as the liaison manager on between the hotel and the civil authorities. Each member of the management staff is duty trained in the responsibilities of the job. So, Emergency Communication Manager on duty. This duty is on liaison manager that responsible to maintain mutuality, beneficial relationships, and coordinate activities of two or more people, agencies or organization, and facilitate communication. Like being said that each member of management staff is well trained to be responsible of their job. Responsibilities of the front office. Remain calm, write down the name, phone numbers, affiliation, and location of the person making the call. Immediately alert the emergency communications manager on duty to the impending danger. If main telephone service to the hotel is inactive, use a cellular phone. Inform the front desk clerk of the impending danger. Produce a room list of all registered guests in the hotel. Produce a list of all social functions in progress. So, dito naman sa responsibilities, the front office, and these responsibilities and characteristics that must have the front officers in the hotel to avoid things or situation more complicated or severe and to do the job well. And these are the example of responsibilities of other hotel departments. Delegating the task of emergency communications leader on duty to the other responsible of other hotel members of a department requires the following considerations. Each department director develops a hierarchy of positions to assume the responsibility of emergency communications leader. Each emergency communications leader on duty receives adequate training in the responsibilities of this job duty. Employees on duty take direction from the emergency communications leaders on duty on assisting guests and employees in evacuating the hotel. Training. The emergency communications managers on duty should receive 10 or more hours of training in leading a crisis situation. This training must be documented with 2 hours of refreshers training every year. Current employees receive 2 hours of training in emergency evacuation procedures. New employees receive training in emergency evacuation at the time of orientation. Refresher training 2 hours every year is required of employees. So, this training is for employees that held every year. And this training is monitored and documented. This is for crisis situation. There's 3 types of employees. The first one is current employees, second one is the new employees, and the last one is the refresher training. And this training is need to be completed at the given time. Employee Safety Committee. The best way to begin is to establish a safety committee, a group of frontline employees and supervisors who discuss safety issues concerning guests and employees. Frontline employees know the details of day-to-day hazards. Employee Safety Committee. The Safety Committee is a useful forum for consultation on work health and safety issues. The purpose of safety committees is to help reduce the risk of workplace injuries and illness and ensure compliance with federal and state health and safety regulation. Composition and activities of the Safety Committee. The Safety Committee should include representatives from all departments in the hotel. If this is not possible, then committees for each shift might be an option. Management should convey the importance of the Safety Committee. Every comment received from the members is worthwhile and should be noted in the minutes of the meeting. The composition and activity of the Safety Committee. The composition of Safety Committee should have representative each departments to represent their departments, and all the attendees shall list the name with signature, and all the discussion during the meeting is need to list down. Also, the suggestions and comments should be noted. Department Supervisor's Responsibility. Each department director must encourage a safety-conscious attitude. Management members can set an example by following safety procedure themselves when operating equipment. Scheduling adequate staff during busy time periods. The following up on request for repairs. If employees know you place safety first, they will also adopt that attitude. Department Supervisor's Responsibilities. These responsibilities is making all the staff employees to be aware what's happening to their surroundings and to be prepared to any emergency that may happen anytime, and know what they're going to do in any situation, and also by following the safety procedures in using equipments. And when employees adapt this, they will fully prepared in any situation. Safety training programs. Specific safety training programs should be developed by each department director. The directors reviews their departments to determine where safety training is needed. Security, equipment, operations, sanitation, chemical use, transport of materials, and movement of equipment are areas to examine in compiling a program. The orientation program is the best opportunity for providing employees with safety training. Safety training programs. In this safety training programs is created by department directors and monitoring where the area that needed more training. Safety training help establish a safety culture in which employees themselves help promote safety procedures while on the job.